Chairman, organizing committee.
Okay. Welcome back. Now we move on. We're still in banking. We finished with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now we're moving to the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, which is the umbrella professional body for bankers in Nigeria. The body was incorporated in 1976 as the Nigerian Institute of Bankers. It got chartered in 1990 and is now covered by the CIBN Act 5 of 2007. Well, they have a big program coming up, and to tell us about that, we have in the studio the president of CIBN himself, Mr. Segun Aina. Good morning.
Good morning.
And he has come along with Mr. Yemi Owolabi.
Mr. Akinfanimokun.
Mr. Akinfanimokun, who is chairman of the organizing committee of the CIBN 6th annual conference. Thank you very much for coming, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
What is this conference all about, Mr. Aina?
Well, as you probably know, this is the 6th in the series of the annual banking conference. And for this year, the theme of the conference is transforming the African economy, banks acting as catalysts towards transforming the economy. And we believe that this is something that is very, very important and germane at this time in the development of African countries. And we are bringing people from all over Africa. We are bringing bankers and practitioners and guest speakers from 11 African countries to join the Nigerian counterparts to look at what are the issues that are confronting the African economy, the economy of African nations, and how can banks play its role in ensuring that these economies are transformed and improved. And that's why we are looking at various sub-teams, area of how we can use electronic banking systems, ATM, point of sale, and so on, to improve commerce and improve exchange and things like that. How we can also improve the corporate governance practices within the financial system in African countries. And that was can also encourage inter-African trade, because there's no point a producer in Ghana sending his goods to the Western world instead of selling it to somebody in Nigeria. We probably believe that if you eliminate the cost of transportation and so on and so forth, it should be cheaper and better for both parties. What are the things that are constraining development of trade between African countries? We believe that with the people that we are bringing together, that are made up of bankers, made up of people in the business world, made up of people in the academic world, people in government, by the time they put it together at the end of the 2-day conference, we should be able to articulate and agree on issues and actions that need to be taken by banks to support all the other transformational efforts of various governments in deepening commerce and deepening trade between African countries and making life better for the people of Africa.
Mr. Fanimoko, one would be want to ask why Africa. Have you looked at the problems confronting the economy of Nigeria to start with? Why are you going so far afield? Because I'm sure that our economy is not exactly where you as bankers would want it to be.
Thank you very much. You see, the entire world has become a global place. Mm-hmm. And Africa as a continent needs, to wake up, rise up to the challenges that we are facing, which is peculiar. That is why this particular conference have sub-teams. Apart from the main theme, which is transformation of African economy, financial services industry as catalyst, we have the sub-teams that deals with embedding e-banking habits, the prospects and challenges. We are financing the risk sector, issues and resolutions. We have the issue of corporate governance. We want to raise the barometer of measuring compliance with corporate governance, ethics, and professionalism. Also, we are looking at fostering an effective inter-African trade, like he has said. Nigeria, yes, we are about 160 million. We have issues and things like that. These issues are daily being, attended to. But we have to make sure that we go out there and come up with a unified front in Africa so that we can compete globally. You can see the European Union, you can see the United States of America, the Middle East, the Far East. All of them are forming a common front to, face the challenges that the financial industry is facing. In the same vein, the African continent needs to come together. That is why this year, it is not only the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria that is into this, it is the Alliance of Chartered Institute of Bankers in Africa are participating as well. And they agree that in any country where they are going to have their event in any year, they will partner with that country in coming up with this. So it's not as if we are not aware of the enormous challenges that we are facing within the Nigerian nation, but we are taking everything together because they are kind of interwoven.
Okay. Now, Mr. Aina, this is it's the 6th edition. To what extent would you say that the first 5 have affected the Nigerian economy and the Nigerian?
Yes, thank you very much. When we hold these conferences, we come out with communique, which is a summary of the issues that are discussed and recommendations to the various authorities. And what we do is we send these recommendations, or we engage the various stakeholders, to the government at the highest level, the National Assembly, the regulators at the Central Bank, NDIC, and other agencies of government and the private sector that have a role to play in ensuring that some of these resolutions are, implemented. And I'm happy to say that some of the things that have happened in the financial sector in recent times, in the last 5 years, have been a result of some of those engagements. I know there was a conference that was devoted all to issue of, informing a cashless society, cashlight, and so on and so forth. Today, we are talking about cashlight. Central Bank has been implementing that. In the past, we talk about issue of having competency framework toward development of bankers and ensuring that bankers are continuously trained and professionally qualified. Today, the regulators and the bankers committee are coming up with a policy that ensures that there's a framework that ensures that everybody in the banking industry have some form of professional qualification or the other that will deepen their knowledge of banking and ensure that they're able to better serve the Nigerian community. There's the issue of the Nigerian the sustainable banking principles, which was a major subject of one of what the past conferences. There's the issue of even the microfinance banking and the issue of financial inclusion. How can we ensure that more and more people benefit from the services of banks? That was a major issue in one of the conferences. And today we can see the efforts that both government and the regulators have doing in that respect. So to a large extent, a number of the recommendations that we have made have become policy issues which are not serving serving Nigerians.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Fanimoko. You are the chair of the organizing committee.
Yes.
And where is this event taking place, and what dates are we looking at?
Thank you very much. The event is taking place next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. That is the 11th and 12th of September. And it's at Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja. That is where the event will be taking place. A lot of stakeholders have been informed. We have the tertiary institutions even participating. We have students that will be coming along. We have given them a discount on their participating fee.
So you have undergraduates who are members of the CIBN.
Oh yes, we do. And so it is something that all the stakeholders will be coming together on these dates to discuss. The idea is to provide a platform for discussion so that the ingredients of formulating strategies that will actually help in the transformation of the African economy, the financial services industry acting as catalyst will be put together, and then the way forward will definitely be agreed upon.